Hey, contractors, your sales process is either making you money or it's losing you money. And honestly, most contractors have no idea. Today, we're going to be talking about documenting your sales process. I'm a natural born salesman. I've been in sales my entire life, but I also had an opportunity to own a marketing company. And in those 6 years, we generated $100 million in closed commercial deals for contractors. And I think it's funny to watch the contractors who were most successful with us. They had a sales process that was forecastable, predictable, rinse and repeat processes, right? You need consistency. We need higher close rates. We want it to be teachable and trainable to new team members. And we want to identify where there is opportunities to close more deals by seeing where there is a drop off or where deals are falling through the cracks. Now, this process has allowed us to improve close rates by up to 23%. If we had 100 leads and we close another 23 of them, let's just say it's an average ticket size for this contractor of 15,000. That's another $345,000 a month. Now, remember, we pay for all these leads, whether it's our time or our money. And that's just half the battle. We need to make sure we're maximizing the ROI on any time we spend to generate referrals, repeat business, or any of the money that we're sinking into advertising and marketing. So, how do we do this? We need to go through each step at a detailed, very specific standpoint, identify each step in the process, and basically, we want to start with the sales pipeline stages. Okay. So we have, for example, lead intake. This is going to be our initial contact. We want to identify the source, the lead source, and collect any kind of qualifying information and info needed for that new prospect. Now, I think one area that a lot of contractors can improve on is going to be the qualification. And I think it's a good idea to qualify as soon as possible so we're not wasting time on estimates for tire kickers and people who are not real buyers. So I think it's a good idea to do a qualification questionnaire, whether it's on the phone or email it to them, make sure they complete that, and then schedule that consultation. Now, once the consultation is scheduled and we have an appointment booked, now a lot of people are going out there and they're driving out there. So we want to make sure that qualification was done right so they're not wasting our time driving out there. Then we need to have an actual process for that meeting. Every single time, what information do we have to collect? What info do we have to ask them for? What information do we have to capture? Documentation we have to capture to be able to get an estimate out as quick as possible. Now, if you're in a trade like roofing, we should be able to get a good, better, best estimate out within 4 to 10 minutes. All right. So there's no excuses there. Remodeling, other trades, custom home builders, you can name it. There can be some additional complexity, but ideally we need a system that if we have a qualified buyer, we want to be able to give them an estimate at that appointment or right afterwards. Okay. We need to cut down on the time it takes for us to get a qualified buyer and an estimate. All right. That's huge right there. Now, once that estimate is sent, biggest thing here on the estimate, if we want to increase our average ticket size and our close rate, we want to be able to present those options there in added cart type atmosphere for the homeowner or property owner. So this is things like having productized services, right? That's easy to basically add a cart. So we can have our good, better, best, and then we can have upgrades that they can add to cart with things like selections. And what I like to do is actually give the homeowner or property owner a presentation that they can basically click through and have a unique experience called like hot buttons based off of their needs and their desires. It takes them to a different slide, right? Now, I do this through Canva. Absolutely love Canva. And basically, I like to have it where it's almost them selecting what they want to add. And at the end of that presentation, they already have their perfect project picked out of exactly what they want. And then when you go down and sit with them after you did, you run through your site walk, you go, oh, perfect. That I actually already have this estimate ready to go for you. And if you look here, we actually do have financing, which a lot of people like to take advantage of in today's economy. Basically, here's your picked out, customized project, and it's only going to be $750 a month for X amount of months. If we're good to go, all you have to do is sign here, and we'll be able to schedule the first kickoff on your project. Sound good? Boom. I hear a lot of people talking about financing and how they are not getting enough people to utilize it. Well, let's pretend that we're selling a car. Basically, you're looking at 3 different numbers for 3 different financing terms. Get the smaller number in front of them, increase your average ticket size and your close rate and the amount of time it takes you to close those leads. Okay. Now, if we don't close those leads, what is our follow-up process? What is our cadence? How are we following up? What's manual? What is automated? We need to make sure each step in this stage has who's responsible, what triggers entry for each stage, what tasks must happen, what is the trigger that puts into the next stage, and what automations can help. All right. Now, it's a great idea to look through your pipeline and say, where do most deals die in our current process? What can we do to improve them? We need to create rinse and repeat processes that's forecastable and improvable. So, guys, we need to make sure we're improving our processes before we throw chaos into the system. We all love sales. We all love revenue. So why not improve that sales process?